Have you heard the interrupting cow joke? Because that's what you remind me of.
I have. I'm
right.
stopping. You know how you keep a cat from biting you on Monday?
I'm going to fight you.
You kill it on Sunday. Okay. I'm for real done this time.
We're live.
We're live. Welcome to episode 53. Today is December 27th, 2021.
Hopefully you have recovered from Christmas shenanigans.
The weekend.
We're
actually recording on Christmas Eve, so we have yet to even know what those shenanigans are.
That's right. Doing a little preemptive so we can enjoy the weekend.
Yep.
Just got finished playing Santa Claus.
Yeah.
All over North Charleston and Mount Pleasant. And
yep. For those that don't know, that don't live here, we do, we did it last year. We do, if you buy locally, use code Santa, then we deliver it on your doorstep December 24th, which was today.
Yep.
So we run around today doing that.
2 years in a row, so it's an annual thing.
It's an annual thing.
The annual Whiskey and Whitetails
Santa
hand Santa drop.
Hand Santa job.
Santa's get out hand jobs on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
But not in the way you think.
No, it's quit being disgusting.
We hand deliver stuff.
Hand deliver. We have 2 retractions.
C.
One, Firefly mash bill is just mash bill 1, we've come to find out, and I can't tell you who told me and why. I mean, I can tell you later, but we were corrected on that, so it's not the 2 blended together, it is just mash bill 1.
Thanks for the corrections.
Yes.
We don't take that stuff personally.
No, I did this time. But I'll tell you that story later. Okay. He was like, man, you're sensitive today. I was like, it's every day. I have a kind heart. The other thing is, you did not test positive for COVID.
No. I just felt like shit that day, and we were joking.
Turns out you can still just get sick.
Yeah, turns out you can just still get, the cold.
Yeah. I don't really want to go down.
It's fun to, the Omicron variant.
Do you know how many people Omicron has killed worldwide?
I don't know.
If you could guess, because now states are starting to lock down, mask mandates are coming back. If you could guess how many people worldwide Omicron has killed?
7.
12. So let's shut it all down.
Shut her down, folks.
Because that's scary. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing this anymore.
Okay. Anyways, so I don't have COVID. Just a cold. This happens about every year. It just sucks that's happening right before Christmas. But
we had several people concerned.
Yeah.
For your well-being. So.
All good. Moving on.
What else did we do this morning?
Oh, we picked up a nice little haul from our favorite liquor store.
Mm-hmm. From the Gibbies.
Gibbies, yep. We got us a fat little haul of...
Might as well just show it.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, the whole thing, okay.
So
Tito's Vodka. We are now into vodka.
Yep.
We've done about everything.
We've drank all the whiskey.
Yeah, we're just kind of whiskeyed out, so we're going to start messing with vodka and gin, I think, a little bit. Just fucking with you.
So we have a Patreon page, which I'm sure you've heard us talk about.
Yeah. And
we always talk and brag about how well we treat these guys, and we truly love the support. So we try and do everything we can to give back, I guess. But 6 lucky patrons. 6 will be receiving.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is not part of Patreon. You cannot pay to get bottles. Just sometimes we do the bottle thing and help people out and be nice, but it is not a reward. There's not a reward. There's not a tier you can pay for that gets you bottles. That's illegal. Sorry. Omicron.
It's like a reward.
It's like a reward.
It's like a reward.
Just for being cool. So yeah, look at all these. Have you ever seen this much? You ever seen as much OWA in one spot? And not only that, these are all store picks.
Yeah, that's the impressive part. That's pretty cool.
And one is for us, and we're gonna open it right now.
Wow.
I'm actually gonna. These are distracting. Yes.
I didn't know we were gonna open one.
Yeah, we're gonna open one. Let's run through. What sounds we have up there? I feel like it's been a while. Okay. That doesn't belong here.
Just how I feel about you today.
I always do that.
That's long as shit.
Yeah, I think that's. I think we get the point. Jeez.
We have our usual.
Yeah. We got to find a new use for that since we're not doing new products anymore.
Yeah, not right now. Anyways,
we're just tired of it.
Wow. That was fun. This one, we probably just need to do another update. You know, we got this countdown, which I.
Yeah. So I want to have the Bourbon Celebrity sound click. Or Bourbon Personality sound clip.
Yeah, Bourbon Personality.
I've actually heard him say it several times now.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
is it one of those things where after the first time you noticed it, you realized it said a lot?
So I saw it in the news as well. Sometimes I'll just
send me that
Google News. And
I didn't even respond because I just did you ever someone send you something and you start to type something and you're like, no, that doesn't quite capture how I feel. And then you say something else and you're like, fuck it, I just know I got nothing to say.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
Bourbon Personality.
Yeah. Gurgled bourbon. I Googled bourbon just to see bourbon news. And right there, it said so-and-so author and Bourbon Personality. And I was like, oh, it is a thing. If it's in the news, it's real. It's how you get a blue check mark.
Is it?
Yeah, you got to be in the news.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's pop this thing. I'm getting thirsty.
Cool.
Yeah, I do miss that. Ooh, it smells nice.
I don't know how much of this we can play on YouTube now.
I mean, I doubt that'll get picked up by anybody.
Never know.
We'll find out because as soon as you posted it,
I have a cough drop in my mouth.
All right, well, let's wait. Get rid of that.
Sorry.
Just spit it on the floor. I'm just piece of paper.
I'm trying. Come on. Shit, I do for you people.
Yeah. So, I watched a movie last night. Great. I watched a movie last night called White Christmas. Have you seen it?
White Christmas?
Yeah.
No.
I don't remember the date. Probably should have wrote it down. But it's fascinating because everyone in that movie is dead. Except there's a little girl that's in there. She's 83 years old today. Not today, but
you mean in terms of actors that they've all passed away?
They're all dead, yeah.
Wow.
That's how old this movie is. But it's got Bing Crosby in it. He sings.
Oh, yeah. White Christmas, yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah, it is a great movie.
Yeah. Watched it last night.
It's been years since I've seen that. I love Bing Crosby. He's part of the Rat Pack.
Yeah, I know. I don't know you have
Didn't we talk about that?
I don't know if we did or not.
I feel like we... No, that was another conversation.
Yeah.
Somebody else.
Okay.
But yeah, anyways.
But yeah, watched that last night. And I realized that movies today suck. These guys are choreographed, dancing, and they're on top of this slick boat, and she's in high heels, really dancing, salsa step dance.
That's something that I think gets glossed over. During that time, those guys that were considered men, you know what? Those guys could be seen and caught sipping whiskey and shooting trap or hunting up, waterfowl.
Yeah.
But those same guys would have no problem being in the club dancing, things that people stick their nose up to now, you know what I mean? Singing, things like that. Those were well-rounded men.
Yeah, well, it opens up there in World War II, and a general's talking to him or whatever, and they're like, he's the toughest SOB on the planet, and he's they're sending him back to the front lines, which is the first time in his life he's walked away from a fight.
Yeah.
Or they're sending him back to garrison or whatever. And I'm like, it's pretty cool. But then stuff's going off, and but the whole premise is the Cap Bing Crosby. He there's a wall falling at war, they're getting mortared, and a guy saves him and hurts his arm, and so now he's in debt to him. So they start traveling and doing the show together, and it's a really good movie if you haven't seen it. But you have to appreciate older movies, I guess.
Yeah,
that's the extent of my people names. I don't know.
Oh, okay, I thought I heard a weird echo. Sorry if I just burped. Anyways, yeah, good movies. Movies aren't the same anymore.
No. I was just very impressed with how much work went into that. And I think it was all shot in the same warehouse. They just redid the sets.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's old school, too. Yeah. You go to, you see overhead shots of the drive-thrus of the big studio facilities in L.A., and it's just big warehouses, and they used to do an entire movie, and they would just have different sets and stuff,
I'm giving myself less of a hard time with filming because now that I pay attention to filming and how things are shot, and I'm like, I wonder how they did that. Now I'm starting to notice in TV shows, sometimes they'll pan too far back and you can see Like where the wall ends and it's just open building.
Sometimes you can see all kinds of little.
I'm like, well, if that's on TV, then what am I?
Yeah, there's really good documented stuff with, for example, like Friends, which on TV for so long, they have so many goof ups and things that they just, because it was shot, a lot of that stuff was aired. Sometimes they did live, so it was recorded live was what I mean. So they have plenty of bloopers and stuff and you can see all kinds of cool stuff that, it's just part of recording.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, you ready for this?
Yeah, I am now, sorry.
Okay. So you can smell and taste then.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So no COVID for you.
Nope. Aside from being a little stuffy, it's not like I lost anything.
That's crazy, man. When I lost mine for real, I'm just now, like, I smelled the paper mill today. That's the first time I smelled it since July.
Really? Yeah, I drove that way the other day, and I was like, ooh. It's just because I hadn't been over that way in forever. Mm-hmm. But, man, I did not miss that.
This smells like a Sazerac product. I'm getting some of that dark fruit that I love about OWA, which is cool getting single barrels of it because they're like, this one is actually pretty on point. But it's got the that when you get it on your hands, like if you've never gotten bourbon on your hand, like spill a little bit on your hand and air it out and then smell it.
And smell it, yeah.
That is my favorite smell in the world. I absolutely love it. But I'm getting some of that without doing that.
What is it you like about that?
It's like the oak. It's yeah. I guess it would be like the oak and like manly is what I think. Like in the woods, just it smells like natural sweetness that would come from a tree.
Like it should be a cologne.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah. It's got kind of a...
Because it doesn't smell like alcohol. Like nobody would smell that and be like... It's what an empty Glencairn glass smells like. Like that.
There you go, yeah.
Love it. All right. I'm going to taste. Got that 107 heat that I like. Very tame finish.
It's such a...
Small hug on the back end. And now I'm getting that oak again on the palate.
Small hug. My name's Olaf, and I like warm hugs.
Part of the elf, what's your favorite color? That's on the menu tonight.
I was getting ready to make a comment earlier that I don't get to enjoy Christmas movies like that very much because we're stuck watching Elf or The Grinch for the 100th time.
Dude, Bad Santa and Elf are what we're doing tonight.
Yeah.
Really excited.
Do you hear that echo?
No. That's that you just, yeah.
Well, this is the volume from a microphone. The headphone volume is up here.
Sorry. I mean, you could.
Okay.
Whatever.
I hear it, but I don't know why it's happening.
Maybe we'll hear it in post. I hear like it's not an echo. It's just like a tinge.
Just very, very.
I'm leaving all this in, so as long as we keep going.
All right. Whatever. So
you tell us. Do you hear it?
It might just be in our headphones. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's annoying though. Either way.
Also, nobody said anything about the quality of sound or video from last week's episode, so I think the camcorder is doing its job.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, plug of the week.
The plug of the week. Well, as a dad.
Do we want to do some ads?
Do we want to do some ads?
Yeah, I don't think we did it last week, so. Yeah. Christmas is over, but if you didn't get what you wanted, you can now go
buy shit for yourself.
Yeah. And you can go to domgodphoto.com and use code whiskey and save 20% on any of the fine prints in there. I think he sold out of calendars.
Yep. Or if you would like to find something useful for those cheap tins of pre-popped popcorn, you can take them to the range and you can go to Gun Monkey's Armory and buy plenty of ammo and blow them to smithereens.
Yeah. Shop.gmarmory.com. And you can also use code whiskey there.
To save some money.
Yep. And my tripod came in. We talked about it on the last episode, but I actually opened it yesterday.
Just set it up and point your weapon at neighbors and stuff?
I didn't do that. I didn't even actually undo it. I just opened it and was like, oh, that's cool. Which is exactly what I thought I would do.
Hey, man, whatever.
Are you going to try to hunt before the year's over?
That's on the list.
Okay, we'll get to it. Because I was thinking about doing a blind. Not a blind. Yeah.
I bought a new blind to hunt with the kids. If I do any hunting between now and the end of the year, it's going to include the kids.
Maybe the box. Maybe I'll do a box. Like the tower stand and just set the tripod up in there.
Yeah.
Take some pictures.
I'm actually looking forward to, I'd like to get in the woods in the back in January and shoot some ducks.
This is delicious.
It is really good.
Oh, I thought about that too for our event that we're having that we're flying 2 Patreon members in. Yeah. That'll be duck season.
Yeah, we smack some ducks.
I don't know if they want to fly with waders, but we could go somewhere that maybe waders aren't required.
We could maybe find a spot where they don't necessarily need waders. Or we could see if we can borrow some waders for them.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Figure it out.
Plug of the week.
Yes.
We need a sound for plug of the week, by the way.
Oh, that's a good...
No, like we got to make something. Like, what do you think it should be?
Plug O.
Should it be like plug of the week, plug?
You know, you can go on Fiverr.com and we can figure out whatever we want to say, and you can pay someone like $25 to do voice work for you, and they'll just record like something, like if they have a super deep voice or like a chick sing a little jingle or whatever.
That would be cool to get a chick to sing a jingle.
Yeah.
We don't. This is a very non-chicky. We don't have a lot of chicks on here.
No, we don't.
We just fit. Yeah.
So we could do that.
We need a chick to sing.
A female. Apologies. We don't.
A female voice. We don't need a female. We need a female voice.
Yeah. So maybe if you're a dude with a female voice, you can record it too.
Hit us up.
We don't. We don't care.
We really don't give a shit.
Plug
of the week.
Yeah. You sure this time?
I don't know. We'll see.
So
do you like this?
Yeah, I do.
It's fantastic.
It is really good.
No, I'm done.
I'm trying to talk. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done now.
Fucking.
I have something for this too. Go ahead. You go.
Have you heard the interrupting cow joke? Because that's what you remind me of.
I have. I'm stopping. You know how you keep a cat from biting you on Monday?
I'm gonna fucking fight you.
You kill it on Sunday. Okay. I'm for real done this time.
Oh, man. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who?
Who?
I didn't know you spoke owl. All right. The plug of the week is brought to you by my 180-piece crescent wrench tool set.
Hooty-hoo.
Hooty-hoo, yeah.
I don't remember what that's from. Hopefully that's not a bad thing.
I think that was a rapper that did that.
Oh, okay.
Hooty-hoo. I don't remember who, though.
Is that the woo, woo? That's the exhaust thing?
Oh, the whistlers go woo, woo.
Yeah. All right. What's up with your Craftsman set?
The 180 piece.
Yep. The big one.
You know, the nice one that folds out and then it all snaps into place. And
we get it. You got money.
It's like, no. I'm just saying that they're nice and they're convenient. And when you have a bunch of shit that you have to put together in the short span of time between the time your kids go to bed and
you get drunk,
you just get physically exhausted and pass out. So I have 2 bikes to put together
tonight.
Yeah,
dude,
cannot wait.
You know the worst part about putting stuff together is it's like the first time you do it. Like if you're putting a lot of the same things together, you're a beast by the time you get to the end. But most of the time you're just doing it one time. It is so frustrating, and you don't want to reach out. Like I got a new thing for the golf cart. The speed, the all tracks, and I'm like, I'm reading the instructions. It's like F1 to B5, and then F4 you put a red spade connector and connect it to 3A, and I'm reading it, and I'm like I'm gonna.
And you could just call a buddy.
I could call the guy. Like his name's Scotty B. He's a cool dude.
Yeah,
we've chatted a bunch. He actually sent me 2 kits on accident. So he's like, please send me it back. And I was like, yeah, well. But I could call him. But I know that he gets called all the time. People asking the same stupid questions. But it turns out he sent me the wrong kit twice. So it wasn't me.
So it wasn't you. Well, that's good. But yeah, that's the plug, man.
Yeah.
Is have yourself during the holiday season a good toolkit.
You should definitely have a good toolkit. That was one of the first things my wife bought me was a toolbox. We were young and broke.
Is that the big blue one you have now?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was like, back then, I remember when she bought it for me, I was like, Jesus, this is so expensive. How long did you save for this? She was like, I've been saving for like 6 months.
I stole this.
Well, I thought it was like scratch and dent, but it wasn't. No.
Yeah.
But it was like 6 months, and I remember thinking next time, because this predates like when we used to use the internet. Like the internet was around, we didn't use it. It's before smartphones, all that. But I remember I went to Craftsman or whatever, and I was looking at it, and I saw it, and it was like $380, and I was like, I cannot believe she saved that much money. I mean, that must have taken forever.
Yeah.
Crazy how things change. Oh, we got our new magazine in.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at it yet. I delivered some today and didn't even look.
Yeah, we ran around and gave everybody, so we had 6 extra gingerbread bitter milks. So the first 6 people that bought, I threw it in there.
Cool.
And I don't know if anybody knows yet or if they've opened it, but we got a full page ad in here. Let's see what it says. I don't even know what it says. Bring the enjoyment of smoked cocktails from your favorite bar to your home, kitchen, or bar. Enjoy the sweet smoked flavor added by our specially sourced bourbon barrel staves. Unlike other smoking kits made from bourbon barrel staves, ours are designed to fit a large range of glasses to make it easier to incorporate into your home bar or kitchen. It's 3 times. Treat yourself or give the perfect gift for that whiskey lover in your family or circle of friends. I didn't write that. They wrote that.
Or they might have just copied that out of our website.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it's doing. But we did the bourbon thing, and then I opened it. This is how I opened it. I said, wine and steak? Sure. Pizza and beer? Absolutely. How about bourbon and spaghetti? Did that question make you pause? Most people have never considered what foods pair well with bourbon, but with the rise in popularity, this is quickly changing. While a spaghetti dish may not be the best option to start as you begin your bourbon pairing exploration, it is certainly something you should try once you figure out what pairs well with your favorite sauce. And then I go into why bourbon smells the way it does, and of course, the ABCs of bourbon. We talk about Kentucky, the bourbon capital of the world. Talk about esters.
Hey, you did it right. Proud of you.
Phenols, aldehydes, all that stuff, and then how to make an old fashioned. And then they threw in 2 recipes here for, I believe one's pecan pie and one is glazed candied yams, and then a hot toddy. And then we get into finding the perfect match. And Trevor wrote all this stuff on how to do a cigar pairing.
Nice. What
kind of bourbon you should look for, and just kind of talks about it through there. And it's really cool because if you read it, it'll allow you to make your own bourbon pairing. So it's kind of it's pretty cool.
Very nice.
But yeah, new magazines.
Very cool.
That's the second time we've been published.
That's the second time. We're 2 for 2 in the Southern Edge. Is this what do they call this? Is this their winter issue, or how do they do it? 'Cause it's quarterly, right?
Yeah, so I think this is the winter issue. It just came out.
I don't remember if it was considered winter yet, or the fall.
I don't think it's in stores yet, so
okay.
I'm guessing it's winter.
Fancy.
Deep winter.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Don't
do that.
Fuck you, man. What's the random fact this week?
You want to do it now? I was going to save it.
Well, save it then. I don't know, man. I'm just looking at what we got going on.
I can do the random fact, but what are we going to do with the jingle for the random fact? Okay.
We should take a clip from Fed Smoker that fits.
Yes. Well,
I don't know.
Ta-ta there. Did you see the new trending touch my camera through the fence?
No.
There's like people going out and saying that, like in people's lives, are like, touch my camera in the fence there. You know?
Oh yeah.
It's really funny. And the new Garth Brooks post, riddled.
No, really, I haven't even looked, dude. I can't keep up with it all.
It's hard. It's something I throw on like when I'm branding and
it's a full time. Like it's content that you have to be like dedicate yourself to consuming.
You'll get lost
regularly. Otherwise, you miss a week and a half, and you're behind.
Yeah, they moved on.
Yeah.
So the random week of the fact. Random fact of the week is brandy. Brandy.
Okay.
This is one of my favorite stories. Brandy, the drink, not the person that owns the barbershop we go to. Brandy, the drink, it actually means burnt wine in, I believe, Dutch. So they used to take wine and they would ship it all over the world in boats, and it was expensive because you figure a barrel of wine.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk about bottles of whiskey being $60, $70, and it's like, that's expensive. Well, I mean, there's $60 bottles of wine that I could drink in one night, where a $60 bottle of whiskey should last me a while.
Yeah.
Right. But so they knew that too. So they were trying to find a way to make it cheaper to ship it. Mm-hmm. So they would distill it, and then it'd be clear, obviously. And then they would age it in the barrels that it came in. So they'd pull it out of the wine barrel, distill it, put it back in the wine barrel, and they'd ship it. And the whole point was that you would then add water to it to make wine again.
I'm listening.
Yeah. You'd add water to it to make wine again. Mm-hmm. But people got it and they added water to it, and they're like, this is terrible. So they started drinking it that way, just the distilled wine.
Yeah.
So brandy is actually burnt wine. That was my random facts. It was one of my favorite facts to talk about in the whiskey, in the alcohol industry, because it's just cool.
I didn't know that.
I know.
It's fascinating.
A lot of people don't. And I've been saying that for years, just randomly when brandy comes up, just talking about it. But I fact-checked myself yesterday to make sure that I wasn't wrong, and I wasn't. I was correct.
No, good for you. I'm proud of you.
Do you want another one of these?
Sure.
The day is young. So we have been, I haven't looked at the spreadsheet yet that you sent, but perhaps you could just elate me. I don't know if that's the right word.
Enlighten?
On the shows we're for sure doing here, just so we can put it out in the ether.
Well, so the thing is there's not a whole lot of shows here.
Yeah.
In terms of Charleston.
South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia.
Yeah. So there are a handful that I think...
The tri-state area, if you will.
There are a handful that after looking at I think are good fits for us for a few reasons. They're within a few hours drive, so it's not a huge haul. And they're right in our alley in terms of the stuff that we do. So obviously we're doing Seaweed. We've talked about that. And I actually made a note to tell people about it. Just wrote down some quick facts for those who don't know about it. If you don't know what Seaweed is...
It's been going on since 1983.
Yeah.
And I actually have a Seaweed poster in my house that was given to me as a gift from my birth year. But it's typically in February. It's 5 days, I think.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the VIP and some of the more exclusive stuff starts like midweek.
Yeah.
And then the big stuff happens like Saturday, Sunday. I think we're in the big events. It used to as initially like 100 vendors or exhibitors.
Yeah, because it was more centralized and now it's spread out.
And I think they said, 5,000 attendees the first year. Now they boast over 500 artists and exhibitors and see roughly 40,000 attendees. And I would say that the 40,000
could you imagine if each one of those person bought a duck call from us?
I know. I would venture to say that 40,000 is on the low end because there are parts of it that you can just sort of walk in and out without you don't need to purchase a wristband or a ticket.
That's the big secret about Charleston is they're very trusting.
They are.
Like you can sneak into almost every event.
Yeah. So I would say that's on the low end. But yeah, the Southeastern Wildlife Exposition they're a nonprofit, I believe, and or a 501(c), whatever that is, the nonprofit.
501c3.
C3, 503c, ABZ, XA.
501d4.
HIJK,
Kira, Steve, UWXYZ.
Yeah.
Can't leave it.
Anyways, so we're going to be participating at Seaweed, and our participation at Seaweed is different than it will be at any of the other events that we're going to attend.
Yeah.
So we have a booth where we're going to be selling and demonstrating products, but we will also be spending a lot of time, and we're still working the details out of this part, but we'll be sitting kind of on a media area stage where we're going to be able to do some interviews, maybe a live podcast or two, interviewing with people there,
other exhibitors, and like we want to try and talk to QDMA, NDA, and the Wild Turkey Federation, and just people like that, because all those guys will be there, all the big dogs.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool content for y'all.
It would be really cool to do that and just be able to make some connections and network with folks. It's going to be a fun week, and I intend to take the whole week off.
Yep.
I'm hoping that with our participation there, we'll be able to get access to some of the evening events and maybe take the wives and do some adulting for. Not that you don't always get to do adulting, but you know what I mean. I've always wanted to do the Ducks Unlimited, the oyster roast. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm a huge oyster fan, but it always looks like a lot of fun because they do it right there at Brittle Bank. It's in the evening time.
I'm pretty sure we're invited to the kickoff party. I think that Wednesday or Thursday.
Is that the one that's like a black tie thing, or is that
no? I'm not going to that.
That's the art gala one, right?
Yeah, that's the one that Matt Livingston goes to all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to that one.
Okay. Anyway, so that's on the list, and that's the second weekend, I think, in February.
Yep.
There are a couple of others. There's one on Jackal Island, Georgia, called Whiskey, Wine, and Wildlife.
That sounds fun.
It sounded similar to kind of Seawee, but it just looked like vendors and wine and whiskey and
wildlife
and art and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't see a whole lot of information. I was also looking for multiple of these things at the same time, so I just sort of wrote down the link and everything. But that's one that we're looking at doing in Georgia. Do we also have as far as specifically like outdoor related stuff? We're considering the South Carolina Sportsman's Classic, which we did once before.
I think we'll do way better. Actually, I don't know.
It's hit or miss, man. It's a
local boy will be there though, so we can hang out with them.
Yeah, it's almost worth going just to network. The booths are $500, I think, which is what it is, but they still have them available in the big buildings.
Yeah, the big buildings where you want to be.
Which is where we want to be, and I think we have the kind of stuff that would attract people's attention. We may need to spend some time putting together a display that we can travel with and set up, and something other than just tables and tablecloths for these kind of events.
So I went to a liquor store today, and they have their entire counter. It's just bourbon barrels stacked up, and they have like a countertop on top of it. That would be very easy to bring 4 barrels and.
Oh, very you could buy a big slab of wood pretty easily. It wouldn't be hard. The other one is one that I haven't attended, but I've heard of before, and maybe if there's listeners that have been or know anything about it, they can send us some information or let us know if it would be worth the time. But it's in Raleigh at the fairgrounds, and it's the Dixie Deer Classic. They have a bunch of like a handful of like TV hunting personalities that show up, and
speaking of TV hunting personalities, you see we got a new sticker on the fridge. Bottom left.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Working man bow hunter.
Yep. Send us a little gift pack.
Thanks for the stickers.
Yep.
So we're looking at maybe attending those to attend as vendors and show off our calls and our whiskey barrel products. There are also some whiskey events. So we have I put down the list 2 that are sort of national, like they're big. But I don't know if the times will work out because of other stuff and other obligations. But there's the New Orleans Bourbon Festival,
that would be fun.
Which is apparently in terms of the list of the biggest bourbon festivals in the country. I didn't realize, but like that's one of them.
Makes sense. Bourbon Street. That's where the bourbon got shipped to when it left Kentucky.
Yeah, and so they have like an entire week worth of stuff, and they have 2 days. Like the VIP tickets are like $350 a person, but that gets you both days of the tastings, and basically you're just hanging out with the distillers. You're shooting the shit with folks from big brands, telling stories and talking and just hanging out. And then the other one was so obviously the Kentucky Bourbon festival or whatever it's called.
We got invited to last year.
Yeah, but that one actually, believe it or not, didn't come up. I mean, it came up as but in terms of the list of the the top 3, that one wasn't.
They probably don't need to advertise it anymore.
Well, the other one that was talked about a lot was called the Kentucky Bourbon Affair.
I don't want to have any affairs.
Well, it's not an affair, but it's a huge. It's just another event, kind of like the New Orleans one, where it's a lot of distillers. Where the other one, the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, is a lot of like food and vendors and games, and like you compete with the barrels. They do all kinds of weird stuff. This other one, this Kentucky Bourbon Affair, is tastings and food pairings.
Yeah, I'd rather do that.
And like seminars and things like that. It sounded way more up like what we'd be interested in doing. I didn't see us attending either of those as a vendor of any kind.
Yeah, no.
They're too big, and it's probably too late at this point to get in. Now there are a couple that are whiskey related. There's the one in Columbia. Which one was that?
The one that just happened. It was like.
Yeah, it's in November. It was in November. Yeah. It's in November again this year.
But
there's that one in Columbia this year, which might be something we could attend as a vendor and push the smoker kit. Yeah. But also November is getting ready to be prime time for us. And so I don't know if we need to be working as a vendor elsewhere because we've already got the market going on and things like that.
Well, we quit doing the market. She actually reached out and was like, you guys didn't do twice in December. And I was like, we wanted to come a lot in December, but just so you know, we had nothing to sell. We had nothing to bring. And she was like, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
But I think we're still good for next year.
Well, that's good to know. She seems very cool, very understanding. Yeah. And she always seems, cause I hear her talk several times very proudly about companies that, sell here and then they just
explode.
They can't do here anymore because they're too busy. And she seems very proud of that, which is cool.
We've come a long way in a year. For sure.
Yeah, we have. The other one was there's one in there's actually it's a beer bourbon and barbecue or bourbon barbecue and beer
bacon barbecue.
One of those it's like it's a tour, like they tour and they put the same event on multiple places. Yeah. They have one in Wilmington and one in Charlotte, so that one's coming up in March. And then I also wrote down like the NWTF, which we could go to. They're still, I think NWTF is only taking exhibitors on a wait list right now, but it could be something to look at for 2023 if we want to take our turkey calls there.
Yeah.
And our other calls.
Jacob's doing an event with our calls.
Is he?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's several things. They all seem to be falling, with the exception of the one in November. They're all pretty much February, March.
Which is fine with me.
They call that the show season for a reason.
And now we know that we know when our off months are. So that can be like family vacations and
yeah, for sure. It's just not bad because it actually falls during summer when we seem to be the slowest, which is fine.
Yeah, I'm all about enjoying my summer.
Yeah.
So another movie. Just change gears. Oh, that I started on booking trips. Oh, the other thing too is we're going to the executive Bourbon Steward course.
Yeah.
So we're doing that in April, and we booked a Airbnb in Louisville. And I was reading like the instructions things and the rules, and it's like quiet, no parties, no people. I'm like, I'm not, but it's like anyone that comes in or out of there is counted. So they have a people counter at the door, and so if there's 2 people on the thing and we bring in a third, apparently they'll text you and be like, you only paid for 2 people, or you only mentioned 2 people. Who's this third person? I had to upload a picture of us because they wanted to know who's staying. Like, I'm guessing they've had real issues in the past, or maybe this place that it's in is very strict and the neighbors hate that they have an Airbnb there, so they're trying to keep it.
Maybe. But I get that.
They have a decibel meter in the living room. So if you get above a certain decibel, you'll get a text, quiet it down. There's no recording, no videography, nothing that could potentially make money. So I'm like, we don't make money on the podcast, so we're not going to do a podcast there. But, so we're going there. We're doing that. We're going to arrive on Wednesday early. We're both leaving like 5 in the morning here, 5:45.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to book distilleries. So we need to figure out what distilleries we want to go to.
Well,
I would like to go to Old Forester.
I have, well, just so you know, I have not had the chance to go to any. So it doesn't matter to me.
True that.
When we were up there for the other one, we were kind of all over the place doing stuff, and we did some distillery-ish stuff.
This trip is like just for us.
Yeah, so
Whiskey and Whitetails, not us, but.
But so yeah, whatever you want to do, I'm down for. It doesn't matter.
We'll probably do Peerless, Old Forester, and debate on the third. But I'm going to actually reach out and be like, hey, we're coming. We're perfectly fine with being in a group of people. Just letting you know, because sometimes they'll pull you aside and be like, hey.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
So I'll do that. I'll book those tours, and then you're leaving after the class. The class ends Friday. You're leaving Saturday morning, and then I'm going to Camp Hero for a turkey hunt, a turkey opener. Nice. Pretty excited. Rock is going to let me borrow a shotgun, so I don't got to deal with all that.
That's smart.
That'll be good. But yeah, no filming.
I got an idea. I thought more about our donation discussion, which we can talk about offline, but I have an idea for that.
Okay. I'm down with that. We did that. We'll do this, and then we'll do some hunting stuff or whitetail stuff. Yeah. So another movie we watched last night was Grumpier Old Men. Have you seen it?
Of course.
So which one am I? Which one are you? Which one am I?
I can't remember their names.
John Gustafson and Max.
Which one is the old man that plays in Dennis the Menace?
That's Max.
That's you.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
100%.
Yeah,
just grumpy as fuck, man.
Yeah, I was like, I'll be. He's actually nicer than I think I'll be at that age.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. But it was like him, and then like we would just be fighting all the time. But like as I was watching it, and he was like, "This is definitely." She's like, "God forbid if Jessica," or she said, if Jessica and I die, and it's just you two. And you guys live next to each other. She's like, this is what it'll be. You'd be pranking each other all the time, pissing each other off.
100%.
And I was like, yeah, I think, because I was really thinking about it. I think it'll eventually get to a point where we're like, if that is us and we're 70, 80 years old, and we're like, dude, I don't want to be here anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so lonely. I'm sick of everything. And so let's see how far we can take this. Like,
we just keep pranking each other until one of us gets so mad or scares the shit out of each other that one of us finally kicks the bucket.
Like put a shotgun on your door. You open the door and a shotgun goes off, blows the door off. It's like, that could have killed me. And I'm like, I know. It didn't, but it could have.
It could have.
Yeah. Yeah. And then eventually we just edge closer and closer.
Yeah. Is that the one? There's 2 or 3 of those.
I think there's 3, but I think I've only seen 2.
Is the second one where he finds his dad? His dad passed away.
Yeah,
drinking a beer by the lake.
Yeah,
and that's the one.
I think so. The first one, his dad's still alive because the first one ends. Gustafson marries the California chick.
That's right.
And then
the outtakes from that first one, where he's coming up with all the names for his unit. The old man, he's referencing all the different types of meats. It's like my man size manicotti. And he's just talking all. He's so funny. That's a great movie.
It's a great movie. Yeah, it's funny. And I'm looking forward to. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying I want our wives to die, but if that were to happen, I think that would be a lot of fun.
It would be a lot of fun, and we could still do that.
Yeah,
maybe just not as dangerous, but it'd be fun.
We just can't go up north. It's too cold.
Too cold? You don't want to deal with that now?
Can't do it. I'll never leave the house.
Yeah, it would be cold as shit.
I'm good with going a little west on our plane here and higher in elevation, so it does get colder. Kentucky, but outside of that, I'm also fine in Texas. I'd go to Texas.
I don't mind.
I go to West Texas and live with all our friends out there.
I think I would go to Texas. I have family in West Texas, so.
I love West Texas. I was stationed there for a bit. It was my favorite place.
You like it because there's nothing there.
Yeah, there is nothing there. They have 2 Walmarts, and
in all of West Texas.
Again, that's it. But like, you leave that town. It's called San Angelo. If you want to look it up, if you leave that town, it is 3 hours to the next town. Now there's like small cotton towns in between where they have like a bank and a general store and a cotton gin mill, whatever. But there's nothing out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure the wife would be down with that.
Well, the water, I think it's what makes people so nice there is because you can't drink the water. So you have to go to these water mills around town. Everybody has 5, 10-gallon jugs. They fill it up and you bring your water home for the week. True story. Today.
That's wild that people still live that way.
Yeah, and the water is so treated that when you take a shower, your eyes water from the bleach. It's bad.
Oh, wow.
But I think because everyone's suffering in that small little thing, just water. We're all
suffering together.
Yeah, just everybody's super nice.
Yeah.
And the donuts in Texas are crazy. Who would have known? If you've never been to Texas, you've never had a donut.
Dude, now is there a specific place you like to get donuts or just donuts in general from Texas?
No, there's like a hole in the wall. You walk in, there's flour everywhere. It was really good.
Yeah. I am partial to Shipley's Donuts, which is a chain in Texas and Louisiana. You can find them occasionally in other places, but you're right. There's just something about food in Texas in general.
It's so good. The best burger I've ever had in my life was there. We should plan a trip to go there to eat that burger.
The one thing that I did I did regret about our trip to hunt elk was that we didn't take the interstate we drove did not take us through a larger section of Texas. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about Texas.
The top.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I like about Texas. Yeah. Food, the certain drinks and things you can get there you can't get anywhere else, and that's just from growing up there. My grandpa and a lot of my family's in Houston, so I grew up hanging out in Texas a lot, and there's just certain things you can't get anywhere else.
Could you imagine living in Amarillo and then all day long, the only song in your head on repeat is Amarillo Sky?
Yeah, all the time.
Because as soon as we pulled in, I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Which I think I'd been to Amarillo before, but I think I just passed through. I don't remember. But yeah, as soon as we got there, it was still daylight. And I was like,
there are definitely certain country songs that are written about parts of the western part of the country that when you experience them and then you hear the song, you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, especially some of the older stuff.
Yeah, definitely the older stuff. Because I think like back then there was a lot more thought put into it. I wonder that sometimes
it's a little
too.
cliche now.
Yeah, it is. You sing about your dog dying and your wife leaving you.
Yeah.
I get it. You're a country artist. But that's what I had for the grumpy old men. And then woods. I wrote this down a long time ago and I keep forgetting to bring it up. But last time I went hunting, I was sitting in my stand, minding my own business, and I heard a cell phone go off. And I was like, someone's walking. It was like, and I turn and look, and when as I'm turning to look, I realized it was the Twitter sound. And then I was like, there's birds out here.
Oh.
It was just a bird.
Oh.
But it made the Twitter sound.
Yeah.
And I thought somebody was walking up behind me getting Twitter notifications. True story.
I don't even know what the sound sounds like. I don't keep my notifications on. They're all off. I hate noises that come from phones.
I changed my ring sound to dogs barking. It scared the shit out of me. I had my ear pods in with no music playing. They were just in because I was listening to something and it ended. And I was doing stuff. And then I'll play you the Twitter sound while you think of something else.
Have you seen the challenge on social media where it says to bark at your dog and see how they react? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That sound. I was like, oh. Thought there's just a bird.
Oh, well, just birds. Turns out there are real birds.
Yeah. Not in this. Did we talk about the Metaverse last episode?
No, we did not. What about it?
So I was explaining NFTs to somebody, and this is where it went. So most people don't understand NFTs, and that's because there's nothing to understand yet. Like they don't know what they're going to be really. But it's basically a digital thing that you own. And then, like, for instance, you take a picture of this bottle, sell it as an NFT. Someone now owns that picture, but you could also screenshot it and then crop it. Now you also have the picture, but you don't have digital rights to it.
Right.
Which means nothing. But in the Metaverse, it's a video game, I believe. I'm not well read on where it's like they actually sell land. So like $20,000, you can buy like a land to build a house, hire contractors, all this stuff. So we were discussing opening a whiskey and whitetail shop in there where we sell whiskey and like hunting gear. Like open the shop in that Metaverse, and then because there's not a lot of shops in there because it's expensive. But people would come in and like, I think we can make a lot of fake money in this fake world. But I don't know how to get into it. We have to.
I have to look into that.
Yeah,
I understand.
But the NFTs work in there, so you could put NFTs in your house, and only you would have that picture of this bottle of whiskey in your fake house.
Right. Yeah. So I understand how to mint NFTs. I understand the contracts and all that stuff.
I know how to make them and everything. I did all this research. I know how to do it.
Me too.
We can. Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we could. But like I looked it up, and most of them are pennies.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's the ones that are really popular right now that are the kids are. I say kids because these 20-something-year-old kids are making stupid amounts of money. Is they're later.
Okay.
There's later. But the Metaverse is interesting. 15, 20 years ago when social media was kind of new, like Facebook, do you remember MySpace?
Yeah, I had a MySpace.
No.
Tom.
Nope, let's go back even further. AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah.
Right? In AOL
Do you know what my AOL Instant Messenger screen name was?
What?
So the independent truck company for skateboards?
Yeah.
You know what their logo was? That little Spitfire?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so my AOL screen name was Flamer Boy.
Flamer Boy.
Because of the Spitfire.
That aged well.
Yeah. No one told me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do remember AOL Messenger.
Trying to decide if I really want to get into this.
I met an older gentleman through it once.
Do you remember your away message? You could set your away message.
Yeah.
You can customize it to have like colors and fonts, and like you just be like you have your quotes and all right. So like that was like you found a way to digitally represent yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's progressed now to the point where we have social media platforms, and we invest a lot of time in how we perceive ourselves, and that's what the metaverse is moving into. It's providing it's going to provide ways where people are going to be able to represent themselves in this digital world, and it is becoming more and more important than how people are perceived in real life.
But here's my question on that: is I understand that angle of it, to where like you want to look good online, you want people to see your stuff and be like, this guy seems cool to meet in person one day. But I also think on the flip side of that, I think the metaverse thing has a strong grip on just lonely, sad people. Because they can't go out in public. They don't know anybody or whatever, but they can go into this fake universe.
It definitely helps them.
Yeah.
But it's also it's opening up an entire other metaverse. Like it's creating another world where people can go to do things. And I think that people who are that type of personality are going to thrive some in those areas. I think there are people who are going to resist it and hold it at arm's length, which is probably smart in my opinion.
I'm not interested. My real life's too busy. I can't have a fake one online.
Right? But there are those people who are going to have a digital life that they have more money and time invested in than they do their actual life. You know, they may have a job they go to, and they may have a small apartment that's barely decorated, because when they're done with their job that they used to pay to help fund some of their stuff in the metaverse, they may come home and spend hours working at a store that they have in the metaverse, where they're making, and they may have millions. You know, some of these kids like still live at home with their parents, and they have tens and tens of millions of dollars in cryptocurrency and NFTs. It's just weird.
It's a strange concept.
It's a strange concept, but it's the future, and I think people are still just trying to figure out, well, what does this mean, right? And we're at the point now, like when Bitcoin is here, right? It's not going anywhere, and we are way off whiskey and Whitetails right now. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. Cryptocurrency is not going. The blockchain is here to stay, and for good reason, right?
Yeah.
But 15 years ago, like 2009 or 10, whenever Bitcoin kind of came out, people were like, I don't know what this is going to be. Like,
I remember. It was just weird because you had to buy it like on the Tor router and all that stuff.
And it was just not easily accessible, and that was the early adopter phase. Like, or people were like, well, what is this? And should I do it or not? And that's where this stuff is now.
Yep.
And it's I feel like, having watched the whole crypto thing go where it went and kind of missed my window on that, I feel like I owe it to myself to at least spend some time figuring out how.
That's why I learned about it.
Whether it's as a company or as individuals, we figure out ways to kind of get our fingers in there some way or another. I just think it's.
Well, we understand the technology side of it. Like, for those that don't know, that we both work in the IT world, but we understand the technology side of it, and we understand why it's not going anywhere. And decentralized currency is definitely going to be a thing. But Ethereum is what is kind of backing a lot of these NFTs. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the ability for them to sync, because most Bitcoin can be transferred pretty easily. If you buy a Bitcoin, it looks just like the other Bitcoin. But for Ethereum, having the actual numbers denoted down to the actual, like almost a serialized version of the Ethereum process. And yeah, it's fascinating. I think it's definitely something if anything, we just throw $100 at it and see. Because, if we had thrown $100 at Bitcoin in 2010.
Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Well, okay. So hunting. Mm-hmm.
You planned to hunt before? I think we kind of talked about that.
Yeah, but we didn't really.
Well, we only have so many days left. This is the 20th. It looked like I didn't know what day it was.
It's the 24th.
Yes. We have. So I get the youth weekend, which is nice. With the kids.
In January, right?
Yeah. I do have a funny story though. I picked up, and it's I'm going to show this picture here to the camera, or I'll show it to you, and you can find the picture and you can pop it up on the screen.
Okay.
See that nice giant buck? So, Zach Meadows spent most of November 3rd trying hard to slow his heart rate and keep his hands from shaking.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. He and his sons had been after this buck for a while.
Sounds like a hunting show.
Bucks were chasing does and stuff, and
yep.
he was watching deer, could tell by their bodies, their little body language, shit was going down. The big buck comes out, right? So,
I've read the script. Matter of fact, I wrote the script. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking for the spot where. Sorry, it's fucking fast. So so as he's watching this group of deer, right, and it's been playing cat and mouse with him, kind of like big typical mature bucks will do, right? They don't just cruise on out with everybody, with all the other deer. There's a reason they're that old and that big, and they're smart. And he's kind of playing fuck games with them and teasing around the edge of the field, not really giving him a shot. Anyways, finally makes his way close enough to close in and for him to take a shot. And as he's sitting there, he says he watched and listened with a combination of shock and defeat as a smaller buck on the outskirts of the group let out a massive fart. This wasn't just any old animal fart. It was loud enough to scare every other buck and doe around him, including the two monsters about to spar.
Too much corn.
I don't know. The sound, which Meadows likened to a whoopee cushion, scattered the group. The non-typical buck stayed in visible range, but the other large buck was gone. Anyway, it goes on to, describe. I just thought it was funny.
That a deer fart.
Well, not only that, but that a very prominent news article. A very prominent news and
What's the name of this news company?
It's Meat Eater.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that someone from the Meat Eater covered it as a story. I just think it's funny.
It actually it makes more sense, actually.
But just, I don't know. Have you ever heard a deer fart in the woods?
Not partum, dead.
In postpartum.
Yeah, in postpartum.
It makes some funny noises when they dead.
Yeah, I've heard them fart dead many times.
No, I've never heard them fart in real life. But I just thought that was funny. That's really the only.
I'm trying to think if I've ever heard them fart in real life. I don't think so.
I've seen videos of them getting caught, farting on
videos
camera, but I've never heard it in person. But
I wonder if they're like people, if they take off real quick, they're oops.
You're embarrassed and probably not.
Yeah.
But can you imagine though? Like, you've been spending all season, and you've got these two big bucks. They're about to throw down one that you've been targeting, and then this tiny little buck off to the side just goes, scares them all away.
I would be very upset.
I think I would shoot the little one out of spite.
Do you think you believe this story?
That's the other thing, is I don't know. I read the whole thing, and I was like, I scrolled all the way to the bottom to look for where it was a joke, and it was not.
Because that's one thing about hunting is you can pretty much say whatever you want.
It's true.
And they'd be like, I swear this happened.
Yeah.
Because every time I hear a monster buck came out and I just couldn't get a shot, so I took this one instead, I automatically don't believe you.
Well, I don't believe you either.
Yeah.
If I tell you that story, I'm probably lying.
Yeah.
And if I'm not lying, I do not expect anybody to believe me.
No, I don't think I'd even tell the story. I was
going to say I probably won't even tell the story.
Yeah. Because then it negates everything.
Yep.
Because I've definitely, I don't know what the word would be. Not trigger shy, because that's definitely not a problem. But too worried about harming and not actually killing.
Yeah.
And I've missed like that when I was in Kentucky. That big. He came run. I mean, he sounded like a horse when he was jumping over, like like you could hear the thud, and I just couldn't get a shot that I was willing to take. But it's like I really saw the deer. I mean, it really happened. Mm-hmm. But if I were to kill it,
I believe you. You don't have to.
I killed that one, not the. Well, I mean, yeah. I just did what I said.
Yeah, you did. I thought maybe you were joking for a second.
No, that was a real story. That was a real story.
Like, oh, he's gonna do it. Okay.
No, that was a real story. Other than that, I just see a lot of does.
Yeah,
that's a lie too. I don't see anything. Dude, I cannot believe we just didn't have time. It's also an hour. I don't think I'm going to join the club next year. It's just too far. I'm not going to go.
It's busy, man.
I'd have more luck running into Francis Marion because I can kill deer in Francis
I was going to say you're an hour from Francis Marion. We're probably going to move again in the spring. Where we're at right now is not. It's just not working with the commute to Gavin's school. We don't want to take him out of. He's in a really good school and he's doing really well.
You moved to Liberty Station.
No, we're just going to move somewhere back on, I think, that part of town.
Yeah.
Which, not that traffic gets any better, but it's shorter. It's a shorter drive.
Shorter traffic.
Yeah. I mean, right now we're carpooling. So in the mornings, someone takes him. But every afternoon, myself or Jessica are dealing with 45 minutes both ways easily.
Yeah, that sucks.
And I am able to cut that down a little bit by cutting through the base with using my CAC. But it's still miserable. So
you take Red Bank?
No, from where we're at, take 52 down to 26, and then I take.
Maybe I don't know where school is. Definitely don't say it here, but.
Oh no! It's not where you think it is, but it's I'll be closer to the club on that side, so it's hard for me to justify not being a part. And then if I do, you can always come out as a guest if we want to hunt and do stuff that way. But
probably do that.
An hour for you, like you said.
I mean, I can drive an hour. I haven't killed anything there in 2 years. But every time I go to Francis Marion, I see stuff. I can be successful if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Especially during rifle season. I know exactly where to go for rifle season. But like bow season, where you shot that buck that 1 year we went out.
Yeah.
That spot. I mean, every time I go there, I see deer. Every time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good spot. I wish the spot that we hunted that draw where we drew those tags last year. Yeah. I wish you could hunt that year round.
Yeah,
but I think it's closed for just the lottery hunt.
Because there's signs everywhere in there, and they also flop sides. Do side A 1 year, side B the next year.
Yeah, and
so
whichever side is the main side for the season, the other side is used only a couple times for a youth hunt. For hunting with youth, which is something I need to look into with Gavin.
That would be a good spot.
So it's, it is what it is. But I mean, we got a little over a week and a half, I think, left. We can hunt. I'm going to try and get out.
I'm probably going to run a Francis Marion maybe and just
see if you can just drop something, get some meat in the freezer.
I know that you can go to the place I used to work. You can go there. I won't say the name and then upset people. But they have a board of people that haven't paid.
Yeah.
Just go in there and they don't care because they want the meat gone. Yeah. So like if you haven't paid and it's been 30, 60 days, you just go in and you go, John Richardson sent me to pick up his stuff. And they're like, good, it's about time. And they'll go get it. So I might just do that.
Really?
I might go give me like three or four deer. Yeah. Okay.
That's fun.
Well,
good times.
It's Christmas Eve, and I think an hour is good today.
Yes, sir.
And we got to do one more thing for the Patreon, and then we'll go home and enjoy the holiday with our families.
For sure.
So cheers.
Cheers, man.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas.
Mm-hmm. WhiskeyWhitetails.com. Use code podcast, save 20% off. You can go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, leave a comment. If you are listening on the podcast app of your choice, do us a solid. Go ahead and give us 5 stars and a comment.
Yep.
And we haven't been asking to do that, and now it's come to a point where it's like we have like none. So.
And for all the friends and family who have the gall to ask for a discount, that's how I know you don't listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I got asked this morning by somebody that does listen to the podcast. He was like, "What's the discount code I can use?" And I was like, "Use code podcast, save 20%." But he does listen to the podcast. So usually I don't tell anybody. Do you guys have a discount code? Like, we do. We got asked that the other day. Somebody asked, we got asked, hey, I'm getting ready to buy. It was a female. She's like, hey, I'm getting ready to buy. Do you guys have any discount codes right now? And I said, we do if you listen to the podcast. That's all I said. And then she made an order like 3 hours later.
With the code?
Yeah, with code podcast.
Good for her.
Yeah, smart. We
say it in the first few minutes, most podcasts.
Yeah, we forgot this time. That's why you said it now.
That's whatever. All right, folks. We hope you had a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we hope you had a great Christmas.
And the next episode will be after the New Year, so...
Yeah, I guess so.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Celebrate safely and responsibly, and
be
with your family and friends, and we'll see you on the other side.
Yep. All right.
2021's been fun.
Yeah, we're excited for 2022 and tax season to start all over again. All right, hit that button.